All right. So a bit about myself. First off, if you guys haven't figured out by now, I love audience participation. So you guys are up for a treat. But I do have prizes, so it evens out. My name is Erin Mikail Staples, and today we're going to talk about how nobody knows how good their LLM is and why exactly that's a problem. So a bit about me, as our speakers have mentioned. Let's see. Here we go. I am a developer experience engineer by day at Galileo. I'm also an open source contributor and former open source maintainer. Thank you, maintainers, everyone. And yes, I am an AI-enhanced stand-up comedian. So if you're around, come hang out with me tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to be roasting some JavaScript folks. Let's just say if this talk goes off the rails, well, that was the fine-tuned portion of this audience, right? How many people, out of curiosity, have used an LLM, have built an agent at some point? Woo! Awesome, right. Let's give it up right here for some socks. So we've got some LLM builders in the crowd, and as you know, LLMs are great at what they do. Things like spelling, getting answers correctly. Does anybody want to share a good AI fail that they've had? I mean, theoretically they can. Let's test my throwing skills here. Well, that's close enough. All right. I might be doing better than the Mets this year. Surprise, I'm a Mets fan. So believe it or not, AI is going to production. And you know what some enterprisers are saying, and even some of the side projects and enthusiasts? They're like, Delulu is the Salulu, okay? Your LLMs, they're really good at things like spelling, pet parent advice, hallucinating. They might even be like, hey, fellow Italian New Yorker person, would you like pineapple on your pizza? That's not so great. And that's a thing, but I don't necessarily know that's the right thing to do. So come on and check yourself before you wreck yourself. So how do we check ourselves? Check. Oh my goodness. And so one thing we got to talk about is impact over intention. How many people have heard this phrase before? All right. Woo, I love this. I love this. Checking yourself before you're wrecking yourself is not just a great 90s hip hop song from the man, the myth, the legend, Ice Cube. It's also critical for anything if you're doing generative AI in 2025. Right now, as we saw, LLMs are just kind of YOLO moding it. They are hallucinating harder than your uncle at Burning Man. They've got trillions of tokens and parameters and data that they've probably taken from someone else, and zero idea if they're actually telling the truth. It's not that we don't care, it's that we're never really given a standardized way to care. So for those of us who've played around with LLMs, and even if you have asked Siri or ChatGPT, that counts in my book today. Does anybody want to share something that it saved us time for? Or what are they using it for in a fun way? Job applications, great one. All right, here you go, heads up. Again, put me in, Mets. We're operating in an era of, it's great for now, works on my machine, we'll fix it when there's a problem. And as we all know, impact is more important than attention. So, LLMs will lie. It's not if, it's when, as we've all seen. And most of us, we want to know how bad they're lying. Because it's one thing if they're misspelling strawberry. I mean, that's what Grammarly is for, right? But if they're, lying and being like, they're in the case of, I think, Nissan, they had to sell a car for $1 and it held up in court? Yeah, yikes. So goodbye vibe checks, hello evaluations. So let's break into it. First off, dog pic, right? This is a picture of my dog. We can all give it up for him. He's mad at my babysitter right now. We're asking, right now, our current method for most determining if AI is successful is you're asking my dog, do you want to go for a car ride today? And he's like, hell yeah, dog's car ride's amazing. Going to the park. This is the best day of my life. I'm probably going to get a pup cup. It's going to wag its tail. It's going to say yes. And it's going to confidently drive that car without a license to the ice cream shop. So maybe we should put something more scientific than a very enthusiastic 3-year-old puppy in charge of everything. We need to understand what's happening at every turn. So that means putting evaluations into place. And an AI evaluation is kind of like a gut check. It's a way of monitoring or observability in this era where things are moving so fast. And you might be wondering, why the heck don't we just put a regular old-fashioned observability tool like a Datadog or something on this? Well, it's great, but it's not catching it in real time, and it's not putting safeguards into place. So this is the part where I say that's what I do at work all day. And what we do at Galileo, we're going to break into how we determine it's successful. What this does is it puts it up against a series of parameters. We have to set our metrics. And what, from a computer or standard observability standpoint, are our standard metrics? Does anybody want to just yell one out? Standard metrics for success when we think of observability. Latency, you're right. Bingo. Latency. And so yes, we do observe latency and time and cost on that. But we can also do other things, like custom metrics. Oh my goodness, this is where we're getting the clickies in here. So when we talk about what we should measure, we want to think about what actually does matter in terms of our AI applications. Did it complete a task? How many tokens did it take? Did it spit out something maybe pretty sexist or toxic or against our brand standards? Did all of a sudden decide it was a sailor? Is it my dog and actually sending you directions to where to get a pup cup? You want to establish baselines. How do baselines work in the first place? What is the normal performance look like? How does your app work on a day-to-day basis? Then you want to track those trends over time. Are they improving? Are they getting worse? Guess what, y'all? Our model providers are really great at giving us a heads up exactly when the new models are going to drop or when the API is going to change. So keeping a trend and putting in those key dates on an observability is super important. You probably want to combine multiple metrics. So you got the fastest model in the world on latency and it's super cheap, but it thinks that Strawberry has 14,000 R's in it. Probably not helpful. And then your manager is probably going to be like, well, that AI thing, that was cool, but didn't work. We need to set those realistic metrics around things that actually matter to us as an organization. Set thresholds. What are those defined regions? How many people remember p-value in stats class from forever? I'll love it, love it. Those are my fellow math nerds in the back. So if you're not familiar, p-value is a fancy way of saying it's a percentage of accuracy within a allotted range. So again, LLMs are undeterministic. That's meaning it's a fancy way of saying we have no idea what they're going to spit in. I can put in 2 different answers or 2 different questions and it's going to get me 2 different answers back. That's a problem. Giving a range allows us to be a little more accurate. So if you wanted that, this is take a fancy screenshot. If you wanted to screenshot this is a slide, you can do so. This is just a quick little framework. And when we're setting evaluations, it's not just thinking about things like latency or token cost or even time to response. It's really making sure that we're diving into actual metrics and implementing observability that is designed for the AI era rather than just shipping it to prod and going, works on my prompt, which is kind of like the 2025 edition of works on my machine in reality. So again, another fancy screenshot slide. Everybody, you can put your cameras up and look at my beautiful artwork that we've created. Don't show my design team. We have our traditional, what I say, AI eval metrics. So that's kind of our latency, observability, token cost. We're going to combine them with agentic experience metrics if that's the way we're thinking about. Did the agent answer a question? How long did it take the agent to respond? What tools did it call? And lastly, you can put custom metrics. And that was where we can have fun. We do have a metric where you can build things like putting subject matter experts in the case. So giving feedback on how do you design something for a certain use case or scenario. It's not about what your LLM can do these days. It's about what should it do. And that's the important part. But if you like this, there's a bunch of examples, including how to evaluate a comedy joke, all on this repo. And if you have any questions, find me around the conference. And that's the deets. But I hope to hear from it.